All right, welcome to our Thursday night series. We are at Darlington for the Cookout Southern 250 here with the iNRS Racing Series, and it is playoffs. I'm Rick Souza here in the booth with my co-broadcaster, Jeff Needy. And Jeff, this is the start of the end.
That's a great way to put it. And we're starting at a track that can make heroes and can make goats. Darlington, the track, they call it the Lady in Black, and it's one of those tracks that is tough to drive, but if you can master it, boy, you can fly around this place.
Yep, you've heard the Lady in Black, track too tough to tame. It is really just one of those challenging old school NASCAR tracks that was, built with what they had in the area, so it's not really the same. You've got two different, the front stretch is different than the back stretch. The turns 1 and 2 are different from 3 and 4. It really is a balance of where you can somewhat be successful in both, but it's so hard.
Yeah, the guys, you see them try to set their cars up for one turn, and then it's not quite right in the other turn. So you're working with your line, you're working with your entry points and exit points and all that. So it's a handful tonight for these guys, but I think they're up to the challenge.
I think they are. Well, and with that, we just found out that we are about to qualify.
All right. Yeah, Jordan Wenzel ended up with the fast time in practice. Let's see if he can do the same thing out here on the track during qualifying.
All right. So qualifying is now underway. If you're familiar with how iRacing works, everybody goes out at the same time, just you can't really see them on the track at the same time. And they're getting their qualifying in. It's 2 laps. And on this track, it is your second lap that is the fastest of the two. Not always at every track, but that's how it works here.
You can see the dark rubber around the track. That car is just following that dark rubber patch through the corners. That's where they will get the most grip. Really running up against the wall through the initial part of the corner, and then come down maybe a car width or so, and then drift back up to the wall on the exit of the corner.
Yeah, he's using that warm-up lap in lap 1 to just put a safe time on the track, but get some heat in those tires to really let it all hang out for that second lap. Seeing first lap
several
times.
Guys,
yeah.
Several guys coming, times are coming up now. It appears that everybody's running a little slower. Some guys are a 10th off. Some guys I've seen a couple times here that they're like 4/10ths off of their practice lap. So I don't know if that was tires, just not enough heat in the tires. What caused that? But that's surprising on a short track like this.
All right, we're watching Christopher Gash. He turned a lap that got him up to 10. That was his second lap. Let's see who's also on the track qualifying. Ty Bostic moved himself up to 6. This is John DeRudris. He has not put up a time yet. So he got his first, this is his first lap.
Yeah, Jordan Wenzel, who had the fastest time in practice, was 4/10ths off of his practice time. That's hard to believe. And Ty Bostic, same way.
We'll have to check and see if the track conditions have changed from practice. Well, John's first lap has put him up to 6th. This
Yeah,
is
the
the
track
money
has
lap.
cooled down. You would
That's
think
yeah.
that would.
Yeah, that should definitely increase the speed.
Yeah. Most of the field has put up at least one qualifying lap now. I think we have 3 drivers yet to put up a
Yeah.
time.
Well, he just bumped
One of those,
himself up to fifth.
oh boy, one of those is last week's winner, Billy Smith. No practice time and no qualifying time.
23 entries so far have made it into the session. We're watching qualifying here at Darlington for the iNRS Racing Series Cookout Southern 250 here. Watching Scott Thomas make turn his laps here. All right, Scott's done, I think. Well, qualifying is wrapping up. Just 30 seconds left of qualifying.
Yeah, it could be these Richard Mills, Mike Wheel, and Billy Smith. Maybe just not going to throw a qualifying lap tonight. They're going to go out there at the back and see what they can do.
Certainly, it is a strategy. We'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, but with that, qualifying will come to an end in the next 9 or 10 seconds, and the drivers will go to their 5-minute warm-up slash admin time that the drivers meeting will be held. And while they do that, we've got some things to cover. First, let's cover the tonight's event. Let's take a look at race info for tonight. All right, right now it's 81 degrees air temp, 92 on the track, which is really pretty balmy here for Darlington. We've got 184 laps tonight with 61 laps for our stage break. Again, it's Darlington and iNRS, so there's no quick repairs. Pit road speed is 45 miles an hour. There's plenty of tires. They probably won't use all that, but they could. In this league, they've got 75% fuel, which translates into about between 48 and 55 or so laps per tank of fuel, depending on how the driver runs, if they're if they're shifting as they make their way around here. We'll see that come into play. And we do have 3 green-white checkers restarts at the end. We'll see if we need to use those or not. But all right, but that's tonight's Cookout Southern 250.
That's an interesting. You talked about the stage break at lap 61. That's going to make this first stage very interesting because you also mentioned the fuel running 48 to 55 laps. So it appears that everyone will likely have to stop at some point for fuel. And that's going to be, we'll talk about that more in the keys to the race, but that's going to be part of their strategy is when do you stop and get that fuel? Do you get it early so it doesn't take so long to fill it up, or do you wait and do it as late in the run as you can?
Yeah, and depending if we see any cautions.
Yep.
Well, as we said earlier at the top of the broadcast, it is playoff time here. We've made it through the regular season, and the first cut is 16 drivers, which the first round, but the next round, the round 2, cuts this from 16 down to 12. So you can see those drivers who are currently sitting in the red box, Vince Burns, Anthony Japs, John Ledger, and Joe Musow, are below the cut line, but they're only a handful of points away, 3 points that differentiates themselves. Really, if you look at it, between 5th and 12th, it's a total of 6 points. So
That is
it's
pretty amazing.
yeah,
It's anybody's chance to make it to the round of 12 at this point.
That's right. And as you can see on the graphic, tonight, Darlington, next week, St. Louis at Worldwide Technology, and then we wrap up round 1 in Bristol for our annual night race. And that happens, I believe that will be on 9/11. It is, I believe that is the case. I'll double check.
Well, you're looking for that. One of
It
the
is. It
things in the
is.
playoffs, it is. Okay, good. In the playoffs, it's like it is in the regular season, win and you advance. So our winner tonight guarantees himself a spot in the round of 12, which comes up next. So there's going to be guys, we get to the end of this race, and if it's close, there's going to be a lot of pushing and shoving, I'm afraid.
Well, and what Jeff and I have talked about looking around this track, we've watched drivers go around, but we've also been listening to others, and we believe these are our keys to tonight's event.
First key, save tires. You see this on so many of the short tracks. Tires, tires, tires. This track is very different. Like Rick said earlier, different corners, that type of thing. So your tires are going to wear differently at each end of the track, and it's going to be a test to see who can do the best job at going fast but saving tires.
And second, long run speed. So you've got that fresh tires, but over time, if you're going to run 45 or 50 laps on them, they can go away. So who can save tires, and that translates into faster speeds at the end of the run. So if you're burning up yourself trying to chase down somebody at the beginning of the session, you're going to put yourself in a whole lot of jeopardy as it wraps up.
And the third key is pit strategy, and that's going to be a key all night long. Guys are going to want to keep their track position, and one of the ways you do that is through pit strategy. So you're going to want to play that game, roll the dice, and try to keep yourself up at the front of the pack as much as you can.
We'll update you as soon as we have information about, and we'll do it regularly during the broadcast, who's on what pit strategy. We know where they were, and we'll try to do some math to keep you abreast of what's going on. But with that, as soon as these drivers hit the track, we should be able to bring you a grid. And I think we've got a grid. Here we go.
Hey, go. And Austin Wheeler, our pole sitter tonight from Smoky Mountain Motorsports in that 48 car. Alongside him is Matt Parasini in the 24. Third position, John Ledger. Fourth is Dakota LaRue. Fifth, John DeRugeris. Garrett Walden is in sixth. Jordan Wenzel in seventh. Ty Bostic in eighth. Tyler Lem in ninth. Vince Burns in 10th. Eric Jeffers is in P11, and alongside him in 12th, Jacob Mossau.
Starting in 13th, Corey Ennis with Ron Fitting to the outside. Christopher Cash is in 15th with Joe Musso in 16th. Jeff Ramsdell finds himself in 17th, and to the outside is Tony Japs in 18th. Scott Thomas is in 19th, and Austin Walton is in 20th. Those drivers who did not qualify but are there in the pack, Billy Smith in 21st, Richard Mills 22nd, and Mike Wheel in 23rd. That's your field for tonight's Cookout Southern 250 here in the iNRS Racing Series.
And you can see the cars have gridded up and have started rolling double wide behind the pace car, and they'll be set to take that green flag very, very shortly here. Austin Wheeler leads them around. Tonight on the broadcast, we should be able to get some spectacular views of these cars making their way around the track. These drivers have been racing together all season to get to this point. It's an exciting night for these guys, at least for 16 of them, because they have a shot at the championship.
All right, pace car is dropped off. Drivers are entering right now into the restart zone. And we are underway. Green flag flies here at Darlington, and Austin Wheeler leads this field into turn one.
Great jump by Austin Wheeler there. That's always the advantage of sitting on the pole. You determine when the start of the race actually happens, and he got a great jump over that 24 car, Matt Parasini.
Looking at the weather at the time, we will be transitioning into night here for this event. That is, I heard a NASCAR driver describe that the transition here at Darlington is like no other track. The track is absolutely night and day, literally, that when the actual track just feels completely different as we go tonight. It drives different, it feels different. We'll see the same thing tonight with these drivers here in the iNRS Racing Series.
And what that means for the drivers is this is a fixed setup race, so they cannot make adjustments to their cars during the race. So that means the driver has to figure out what the track is doing. Ooh, little wall contact there from the leader. But he has to figure out what that car is doing and then change his driving style a little bit to make that car handle the way he needs it to handle.
Yeah, very little options, as Jeff indicated here with this fixed setup. The only thing they can do is they can make a brake bias adjustment, pretty much that's minor, when they go into the pits itself.
Caution is out.
Caution is already out. Richard
Yep.
Mills probably involved here. Let's see. Richard Mills in the 88 has gone around. It's like Mike Wheel also involved. See if we can bring that to you real quick. It's like the 88 just got loose and the 96 had no place to go.
Ooh.
Yep.
That was close for the 70 of Billy Smith.
Yeah.
His strategy of starting at the back almost bit him.
All right, we've got just a handful of laps in. First caution's flown. And looking on our YouTube chat, looks like Rob Burrell is asking any trivia tonight. Well, Rob, I think we're going to have to. We'll start looking at some trivia. So let's hope we don't need much trivia, but we'll look at it. We'll figure it out.
That number 24 car, Matt Parasini's got that old Jeff Gordon look on his paint scheme tonight. Car looks really nice.
Trying to get out some trivia questions together for our interested viewers who want to play a little bit of trivia tonight. All right, here's a good one. If you're watching along, feel free to jump into the chat and throw up your answers or what you believe your answers are for the questions we put out there. So the first question for tonight, why is Darlington Raceway often referred to or called the Lady in Black? Why is Darlington Raceway often called the Lady in Black?
That's a great question. No typing in Google at home.
I think we're going to lose that debate. All right, so lights are off on the pace car. We're about to get this back underway. We'll try to keep you up to date on what's happening here, and we'll answer our question as soon as we get back underway here. Shane Trotter says the Darlington stripe. Nope. That is not it.
That was a good try, though.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, like in this league, the leader who has when that caution flew gets lane choice, and I believe Austin Wheeler has now chosen to take and restart on the outside. We'll see how this goes for the 48 as the pace car drops off and leaves the 48 in charge of this restart. Here we go, back underway.
Oh boy, another great jump.
Good jump by the 48 of Austin Wheeler. Leaves those drivers in the back now as they kind of reshuffle themselves. And
oh, caution again.
Big bump up here in the back. Big damage to the
body parts
Austin,
flying everywhere there.
Yeah, the 17 of Austin Walton just got toasted. He is in trouble in that car. You've got.
Yeah, I think his day's done.
Yeah, you've got tires akimbo there on that vehicle. All right, let's see what happens. And before we pick that up, let's give the answer to the last trivia question, because we're going to give you another one. The reason why Darlington Raceway is often called the Lady in Black, it goes back to because the crews used to apply a fresh layer of black asphalt sealant before the races, giving the track its dark appearance.
Interesting. I never knew that.
I didn't either. Again, you learn something new every day. Oh, there it is.
Ooh.
Back there. That was like.
Couldn't tell if he had help or not.
Yeah, I'm trying to go back. That was that Ron. Yeah, it's up here at the 55 of Vince Burns and the 25. Let's back that up just a tiny little bit here. So this is obviously is the restart. You got a lot of, a little bit of bump from the 27 to the back of the 55. Unfortunately, a little bit of 25 gets involved here.
It looks like the 55 was trying to stay off the 25, and
see, unfortunately, the 25 goes all the way around, and 17 goes in the wall. 79's involved.
Oh boy, several guys in the wall there.
Yep, a little bit of damage all around. Some mostly not too bad, but remember that caused more drivers to get in the pits. So
6 different cars involved and went to the pits. Christopher Cash in the 69, Jacob Mossow in the 25, Scott Thomas in the 79, Billy Smith in the 70, Mike Wheel in the 96, and Austin Walton in the 17. Austin Walton right now is the only car still in the pits, and that was probably from that earlier incident.
Yep. Unfortunately, Austin Walton has got a meatball. He's going to have to figure out how to get that car repaired before he can get back out there. So.
Talking about meatballs, you're making me hungry.
All right. When did Darlington Raceway first open? Take a stab. Give us your ideas. When do you think the Darlington Raceway first opened? And while you noodle on that a bit, the lights are off on the pace car, and Austin Wheeler will get this back underway. Austin Walton is in the pits, and he's going to be there for a while.
Austin Wheeler did not want to see that yellow flag. He had checked out. He got such a great jump on that restart that he probably had a eight car length lead. Oh, there he goes again.
Yeah, back up on the inside.
Wow.
Yeah, a little bit of a backup back here. A little bit of bumper cars on that inside line. Still contact between the 43. I see who he was working against there. I think that was Dakota LaRue in the 18. A little bit of contact there. Yep, that is the 18 of Dakota in that teal and purple car there.
Restarts are so important these days. They were talking on NASCAR radio today about some drivers that are maybe a little more old school drivers that have a lot of experience in the older Cup cars. Not all of them, but a good percentage of them don't do as well or aren't as aggressive on the restarts because they've never driven that way until the last few years. And so it's very interesting to see these restarts and how much they mean. And guys are just clawing for every position they can get. And when you get to the playoffs like we are right now, it just escalates even more.
All right, if you're still playing along with our trivia, when did Darlington Raceway first open? The answer is Labor Day, September 4th, 1950.
Ooh, I missed it by a year. I was guessing 49.
All right, Austin Wheeler continues to lead here. Let's bring up some gap information here. See where people are. And if you're seeing those drivers who are highlighted in red, those are playoff drivers. Pretty much the entire top 10 are your playoff drivers tonight.
Matt Parasini in P2 in that 24 car has the fastest lap so far of the race, and interesting, it's faster than anything else by 2/10 that he has run all night. So that's a great lap by Matt Parasini there, 29-23.
And as we said at the beginning of the broadcast, that we do have a stage break at lap
61, right?
Yes, I need to go back and double check our telemetry here. 1 second. Oh, there it is, yeah. All right, stage break information has come in correctly. It was off for a second there, but yeah, our only stage break. It comes in at 61. Now, interestingly enough, the top 16 drivers have not pitted. Top 15 drivers have not gone into the pits. Those drivers who were involved in an earlier incident, they did come in, but we'll see how relevant that is. Everybody that that is on track now will probably need to stop for fuel at some point before the completion of stage 1. And we do see a retiree. Richard Mills no, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. Austin Walton is the only driver who is currently in the pits trying to get repairs made. Everybody else, all 22 drivers, are still going on the field.
Yeah, Richard Mills, interesting. He did not pit, but some of the guys that did pit back on lap 9 are ahead of him. So must have been able to get a good jump on him on the restart.
He was involved in that earlier incident, but he may have chosen to stay out. Damage probably wasn't anything severe, but unfortunately it's kind of stuck him back in 19th.
Yep. It's interesting how quickly they just spread out single file. It's that, in that restart, everybody's going for everything they can get, and then they just settle in. So if you can get a good, 7, 8, 9 lap restart and keep it clean, then at that point, then everybody gets pretty spread out. Just saw Austin Wheeler there lap Billy Smith.
Yep, he just passed it. Billy Smith was the last car on the lead lap, and he's slipping back. Let's bring up the last time. That may be the tail of the tape here. Billy Smith's last time was a 31:75. So that's nearly a second and a half slower than Austin Wheeler's current time.
Yeah, and at less than 30 seconds a lap, that goes by pretty quickly. Yeah, I wonder if Billy has something, if he got banged up a little bit and has
Yeah, he was super loose
a little
just
bit of
there
an issue.
as these drivers are trying to make their way around his position. The 22 of Ty Bostic, now John DeRudris to the inside. He's trying to get his way around. But he's the 70 of Billy Smith is just slipping back as they try to work their way around him. So he's definitely got something off that last time around. He was a 32.26, so he's over 2 seconds off per lap.
Yeah,
Well, as you can see,
Billy
the field
Smith,
the field is beginning to just stretch out here.
Yeah, I was going to say Billy Smith was our winner last week, so that's uncharacteristic for him.
All right, Austin Wheeler is out there, and he's got a pretty good gap, just over half a second in front of Matt Parasini. And together they've got nearly almost 2 second gap over John Ledger, Garrett Walden, and Dakota LaRue.
"27 laps into this, so roughly halfway to our fuel stop anyway, getting close to halfway for the stage break. Like Rick mentioned earlier, we know 14, 15, at least 16 cars are going to have to make a stop somewhere along the way in order to pick up a little bit of fuel. Those guys that pitted but were able to stay on the lead lap, this could work out to their advantage as far as stage points go anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. I see the 19 car of John Ledger. He's currently showing in third. He's got a little tone-on-tone paint scheme tonight. It's a Monster Energy car, but it's like black on black. 19.
Yeah, that was his tip of the cap to the lady in black, he said earlier tonight when we were talking to him. John Ledger is one of those guys that's outside the top 12, below the cut line right now, but a good run tonight will help him immensely in making it to the next round.
Currently watching Ty Bostic and Jordan Wenzel moving their way up to 5th and 6th position right now. This is where it's where it's time to go.
Yeah,
I know this. Yep. I know this is early, but if you're looking for stage points, you've got to get a move on. You've got 31 laps to advance your position, and every point counts.
Yeah, these guys that are running up front right now want to get as much distance as they can, so it's less time they lose when they come in and make their pit stop. I have a feeling the way, if this stays green, these guys will, most of them will probably stay out as long as they can and then just come in for a splash and go. Take as much time off track as they can.
I think that's going to be a very interesting how they play this out, because it does appear that they will all need to stop. I don't know whether that's going to be that splash and go, because you're going to be on old tires. You may want to change. It'll take you to fill that fuel tank. You can at least get one side done. But unless you've experimented with how that feels here on this track, I don't think I would do that. Oh, 24, a little bit of wall contact there. That
is so easy to do. That's why they call it the Darlington stripe. it is so easy to kiss that wall, especially coming off the corner. You can see how close they get right about there.
Let's go ahead and ride along with Matt Pericini.
They get right in that area. They get so close, and then coming off the corner, they're right there again.
Well, that outside wall in the backstretch coming out of 2, you would swear it's chasing you as much as you're trying to avoid it.
Yeah, it almost feels like that wall makes a hard left-hand turn.
Yep, you think
because all of a sudden there it is right in front of you.
Yeah, if you're following if you're up in this high groove, as you're working your way through 1, now you're coming through the apex of 2, you've got to move the car down like you see John doing, or else you're going to wind up just crushing that right side into the safer barrier.
Yep.
And you saw him downshifting into 4th. He's using that engine braking scheme that keeps him off the pedal, off the brake pedal, just using the engine to kind of slow the car down enough to rotate through the corner.
And boy, he is redlining by the time he gets to the end of the straight.
Yeah, so a lot of different strategies, Jeff, on the shifting here. Now, Matt Pericini is shifting twice. You see him down going into 4, he's downshifting, and then he'll do it again at the other end, coming into 1. Let's go on board with Austin Wheeler and see how Austin is going around. He's going into 1. He is not downshifting. He's just letting off the gas and letting the binding of the engine slow it down, but not using the transmission to slow it down. See, no downshifting for Austin Wheeler.
I think that may help him a little bit anyway in fuel mileage.
You are exactly correct. Not downshifting like that absolutely will help you in fuel mileage. You'll have much more in the tank. Obviously, if you're shifting from 5th to 4th, you are adding more RPMs to the car as it as you go in and out of each turn, like I saw Matt Pericini. Matt's going to have less fuel at the end of this run, whereas Austin Wheeler, he's got a bit more in the bank.
And Matt Pericini has done a decent job of getting back up close to Austin Wheeler again. Austin Wheeler's been leading all 39 laps and had a huge lead, but Matt Pericini's been slowly picking away at that. Last lap, he was almost a full 10th faster than Austin Wheeler.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, so we'll see if he's able to catch him before their round of pit stops.
We do see who's climbing. Jordan Wenzel now finds himself in 4th. He is up 3 positions from where he started this race. A few drivers who have slipped down. John Ledger, Dakota LaRue, John DeRugis, they're all 6. I mean, they're lost 6 positions from where they started this race. Other big movers here. Ron Fitting, he's up 3 slots. A couple of
Mike
guys.
Wheel is up 4.
Yep, Mike Wheel, positive. And currently from the, he started at the back of the pack, now cracking the top 20. Vince Burns, who's involved in that other incident, is now, he lost 5 positions. So. All right, lap 42 in the books. We're just 20 laps away or so from our first stage break. Number of drivers are in the pits. You know, Scott Thomas is in the pits right now. He's coming in. See him taking right side tires.
Lap 42 is when they start, so they don't need to take a lot of fuel, just enough to get what, maybe 6 or 7 laps.
Yep. Yes, Scott Thomas had a good stop. He was in there, still a 14.88 stop. That's a good pit stop. So he took 4 tires.
Four
And if you're in there
tires,
for
yeah.
4 tires, you probably took a full tank of fuel. So.
Yep. 42, he'll have 20 laps on those tires roughly by the time we have a stage break. So he's probably not going to be able to flip the stage or stay out during that break unless he's counting on a yellow pretty quickly after the restart.
So that brings up a whole nother topic, and that is pit strategy and fuel strategy. So just going in there, he went down 2 laps. So green flag stops. That's going to take you're going to go down 2 laps. It's going to take you at a minimum by the time you enter onto the backstretch and work your way down to get to pit road and then get out. It's going to take you 54 seconds.
Oh, that is tough.
Yeah. All right, we're still watching Austin Wheeler continue to lead. 46 laps are in the books here. We're working our way about 15 laps away from our stage break. That's a competition stage break at lap 61, at the conclusion of lap 61.
Driver I'm keeping my eye on right now is Jacob Mossow. I think he pitted on lap 9, so I think he has enough gas to make it the rest of the way. And if every one of these guys loses even 1 lap, that's going to turn around and put Jacob Mossow in the front of the field. So we'll see if if it works out that way or not. Another caution, throw all that out the window.
That's true. Jacob was involved a little bit in that earlier incident. Not bad. He's got a little bit of scuff or so on that car, but he's not in bad shape as he makes up around Joe Busso there.
And that could be a big deal for him because Jacob Mossow is in the playoffs, and getting those stage points for stage 1 is gonna be a big deal for him.
Riding on board right now with Jacob. So he's fighting that wheel just a little bit.
Yeah. I was just getting ready to say he was pretty smooth on the wheel till then the exit of the corner. He had to do a little bit of juggling there to keep it off the wall.
All right, 50 laps in the book here at Darlington for the iNRS Cookout Southern 250. This is the first race in the round of playoff round 1. Will be next week at Worldwide Technology in St. Louis, and then on to Bristol for the Bristol Night Race. That is always a blast.
That little track map up in the top right corner of your screen, you can see how these cars are really well spread out around this track right now.
Does give you a good idea, this egg-shaped track, just how different turns 1 and 2 are from 3 and 4.
Austin Wheeler and Matt Parasini have pretty much settled in. They're both running about the same speed right now. The gap is about the same, about a half a second, which is about the same as it was when we talked about them 10 or 15 laps ago.
Yeah, Garrett Walden's kind of all by himself. He's got a good gap between himself and Matt Parasini, and over a second ahead of Jordan Wenzel. But Jordan's closing, so we'll keep an eye on that. Also, Ty Bostic on the tail of Jordan Wenzel as he tries to crack through He's already running in 5th, but hey, every spot counts here with stage break.
Yeah, all three of those guys, Garrett Walden, Jordan Wenzel, and Ty Bostic, are all up 3 positions over where they started. If you look back down, John DeRugeris is down 3. Dakota LaRue's down 2. Oh, here we go. Caution at lap 54. Let's see what happens here.
Corey Ennis was involved. Not sure what happened with Corey. But this comes at lap 54. I expect we'll see everybody come down pit road this time. Let's see what happened to Corey here. You know, with the amount of laps they have on these tires, it's going to be super slippery.
Yep.
Watching 27, he comes
yeah,
right up.
I saw him just push up the track.
Yep, that 3 is Ron Fitting. A little bit of damage there on the 27.
Well, all right. This did not play into Jacob Massau's hand.
Nope, sure didn't.
He had a good shot at winning that stage, and I think this is gonna, unless he stays out. But even if he stays out, he's still gonna have a lot of laps on those those tires. So I would be surprised if he did. Although, yeah, he stayed out.
All right.
Just as I'm saying it, he makes a liar out of me.
So our next question is, why is Darlington considered a driver's track? While we watch the field come down and take pit stops.
Very interesting, though. Matt Parasini stayed out.
As did Ty Bostic, Eric Jeffers,
yep,
Jacob Musow, and Joe Musow.
Yeah. I understand Jacob doing it. I am very surprised that the other guys did. Austin Wheeler's going to come out in 6th spot. So see what kind of a jump he can get on the restart from six spots back. And are there enough? Oh boy, it's only going to be a couple laps. Probably
5 laps.
Yeah, probably less by the time they take the green flag. So maybe 3 laps when they take the green flag.
So that was a wise call. Now, Matt, the gamble is that Matt Parasini, Ty Bostic, Eric Jeffers, Joe Musow, Jacob Musow, those guys didn't come in. So they will definitely go in, but they'll be able to take advantage if they can pull it off on stage points.
Yep.
Again, this race is so tight, every single point matters.
Yeah, they'll take the green on lap 58, so 4 laps to go. So there's time there for Austin Wheeler. Looks like he's going to start 5th or 6th, I think we said. And yeah, probably 5th. And that's going to give him 4 laps to get around everybody on old tires.
Never know. Their last lap was pretty decent. But we'll see how it all plays out. All right, we'll find out right now because the pace car has dropped off. Matt Parasini is in charge of this restart. Ty Bostic to the inside, and off we go. Matt Parasini gets a good jump, but the 22 stayed with it. Now these guys are on old tires. They're going to have a hungry pack of guys just behind them. So we have to watch out. Hope we don't see any breeding cautions here. Already lots of movement here on back as Wheeler whips around, tries to get up there.
Yeah, I was watching him during the restart, and unfortunately for him, he got stuck in the outside row, so he could not drop right away and make a run towards the front on the restart. He had to wait almost half a lap before he could get clear to get down there. Now he's running that inside lane when he has to, in order to try to make up spots. He's up to third already, though. He only has to get around Matt Parasini and Ty Bostic, and you can see he's on
a run for sure.
Yeah, he is. He's running about oh boy,
yeah, here's
half a second faster right now.
Yeah, but interestingly enough, I mean, these guys still ran some pretty fast laps on old tires. Oh, big John Ledger spins, but
does it going to bring the yellow out?
It did not. No, he kept it going. Oh. No caution.
Wow.
Oh, but they're wrecking right there. 43 goes around. Caution is out, and that will probably be our stage break at this point. The 43 winds up in the wall. Garrett Walden involved.
And somehow Matt Parasini and Austin Wheeler both end up at the front again where they started, just positions are reversed. Ty Bostic in third, Jacob Mossau in fourth, John DeRuger is in fifth, Joe Mossau in sixth, Dakota LaRue seventh, Eric Jeffers in eighth, Jordan Wenzel in ninth, Tyler Lem, and that rounds out the top 10. Unofficially, of course.
Looking for a better shot here of what happens with the 43. Oh, that's just net code.
Oh, big net code. Man, he wasn't even close.
Nope, that is just crazy. So what I mean by that is right there, the appearance is that there was contact by the 59, but they were at least 3 feet apart, and that is just a calculation by iRacing saying there could be an accident here. We're just going to make it one. Unfortunately, that puts the 43 into the safer barrier. Then there's a little bit of contact with the 99, which ends up rotating him around, but not before he catches a little bit of the 18 of Dakota LaRue. And then again, Tyler Lem gets a little bit of contact there. Oh, well, that's unfortunate for Garrett Walden. I think he is currently in the pits. Trying to see whatever damage he's got can get repaired. All right, we asked a question before. Darlington's considered a driver's track. Why is it so? It's a simple answer. It's a unique shape, narrow racing groove, and worn surface makes it difficult to master, testing driver skill over car speed.
Good trivia questions tonight. Well, Matt Parasini had to pit because he had not pitted yet, and let's see where he came back out.
Yeah, back in seventh.
Seventh, yeah. And that puts Austin Wheeler back in the lead, and really not in too bad a shape. He pitted on lap 55. There's about half a dozen, 7 guys, I think, that pitted on 55, and most of the rest of the field pitted on this 61 stage break. And so that's only 6 laps. So they'll all be pitting again if they do a full fuel run. They'll all be pitting fairly close to each other. And we're back to green.
All right, Austin Wheeler out in front. Jordan Wenzel finds himself now in second and moves up into the groove. Tyler Lem sitting in third, and Ron Fitting makes his way up to fourth.
Austin Wheeler with his pat to jump. Just takes off like lightning. That car is really hooked up tonight.
So now the race changes. What we were talking about in the first 61 laps is the drivers are pursuing points. They're chasing stage points. Anytime they can get points is important and critical in separating themselves. That's over. So now we reset the timer, reset the lap clicker, and now we're thinking, okay, how do I get to the end? How do I put myself and my car and my team out in front? So now we know there's about 50 or so laps per pit stop. Now things are different because if you do the math, you've got about 120 or so laps left in the race. You know you can get 55, maybe 50, 55, depending on your shifting, laps per fuel tank. Discounting yellows because they change everything, as we've already seen. You got to figure you're going to need 2 more stops. One sometime around lap 120, again sometime around lap 165, 170, and then you'll need something at the end there to make it through and have enough, because there may be a green-white checker at the end there. So you've got to figure out, do you short pit at some point and go in earlier after, say, 40 laps here and then go and break it up, or do you plan? So now it's up to the driver and their own strategy to make it happen.
Yeah, one thing that I have a feeling some guys will try is to, based on cautions, they'll run this first leg long, see if they get any caution breaks that allow them to save fuel, and if they get enough caution laps, be able to do it on one stop instead of 2. So we'll see if anybody does that or not, but that is an option.
All right, Austin Wheeler continues to lead this field here. 69 out of 184 laps. Let's just get a lap count so we feel just how. Yep. So Austin Wheeler has led 64 out of the 70 laps, and Matt Parasini, who is now, after that stop back in 6th, he's led the balance of the laps. Looking on back through the field. Again, we've gone to a single file here, but there's lots of drama as these guys try to work their way up. Oh, super loose.
Ooh, whoa. I think that was a good save.
Yeah, that's Eric Jeffers. He did a great save there. Kept that car going in that number 12 Menards car.
Wisely stays down low to give those guys an exit off the corner there while he gets back up to speed.
That is one of the things about this track, is that it is wide where it counts. We often see someone coming off of 2, looping it around, but if you've got some control, you can navigate that car by backing onto the throttle, getting it pointed in the right direction, and keep on going. The challenge is that if you don't catch it, well, there's a retaining wall right there, so I come and bite you. That is the 88 of Richard Mills. He is definitely off speed here. It's like he's making his way down onto pit road. Came in a little hot there. I think he was caught speeding. Now
at 73.
Not sure what brought out that caution. Jeff, I don't have any telemetry. There it is right there.
Somebody got into Vince Burns.
Yep. I think that's the 24 of Matt Parasini.
24. Yeah.
So 55, there's contact, and then a little bit farther up, that is the 28 And that is Joe Musso, who also got collected in that incident. All right, that is our 5th caution of the night. Here's an oldie. Which legendary driver earned the nickname Mr. Darlington?
Ooh.
Which legendary driver earned the nickname Mr. Darlington?
That has to go way back because I've never heard a driver called Mr. Darlington.
Every day is a learning experience.
That's why you need to follow IWM on the racing network here,
That's
the
right.
iNRS. Some great trivia tonight, Rick.
Thanks. I figured we may need some trivia, and that credit goes to, that's not me, Rob Burrell, one of our fans who regularly tunes into our broadcast, said, hey, where's the trivia? So, in a tip of the hat
Thank
to
you, Rob.
Yep, we'll give it to
Yeah,
him. So.
you made our night more interesting. Thank you.
Well, Garrett, Austin Wheeler finds himself out in front. He's got Jordan Wenzel right behind him, Tyler Lem. Man, Jeff, we've called out these 3 guys all season long, haven't we?
Yep. Yeah, we have. And good cars always find their way. Good cars and good drivers. Let's make sure we give the drivers credit. But they always find a way to get to the front. And a lot of the guys that are up there right now are guys that we're regularly talking about at the front of the field.
Well, let's talk about someone, Jeff, who we have not seen as much, but tonight, Jeff Ramsdell in the 97, he's up 11 spots and finds himself in 6th.
Yeah, that's awesome. Ron Fitting is up 10 spots, finds himself in 4th. So you guys are they're making hay. Austin Wheeler, right after that stage break, turned the fastest lap of the race, a 29:07. That's
smoking.
Pretty darn fast. That's about 1/10 and a half, almost 2/10 faster than anybody else. That's pretty good.
Absolutely. All right, the lights are off on top of the pace car, which means we are about to go back to green flag racing. We'll cross that line at starting lap 77. Austin Wheeler is in charge. And we are off back to green flag here at Darlington.
And once again, Austin Wheeler's got that 48 hooked up, jumps out to a 4-car lead right off the bat. These cars are so closely matched that when you can get that kind of a jump, it's unreal. He's 1/3 of a second faster than Jordan Wenzel right at them already, or he has that much separation. That's it's pretty tough to do.
Already we are back to single file racing.
Austin Wheeler just made significant contact with the wall coming off the exit there.
That has kind of helped close the gap for Jordan Wenzel there.
Yeah, absolutely. They were now they're only 2/10 apart. So and yeah, that's holding pretty steady now. They were a little over 3.5 tenths. So that giving Jordan Wenzel a little bit. Jordan Wenzel charged that corner too, tightened it up a little bit more.
225 of Jacob Musso trying to get under the 97 of Jeff Ramsdell, trying to take that position away. Jeff Ramsdell was a little loose there. All right, so we asked a trivia question. Which legendary driver earned the nickname of Mr. Darlington? The answer to that is David Pearson.
Wow.
David Pearson was very successful at this track.
I think David Pearson was pretty successful at multiple tracks, wasn't he?
Fair. That's fair.
Hey, here's a trivia question for you. I don't know if this one's on your list or not. I'll throw one in there, though. How many cars competed in the very first Southern 500 here at Darlington?
Oh, that's a great question. And just if you're saying to yourself, hey, well, David Pearson had so much success, how many wins did he have at this track? David Pearson won at Darlington 10 times.
Wow. Okay, he earned the name.
Yep.
Yeah, Austin Wheeler stretching that lead back out now. He's got about a half a second over Jordan Wenzel. And then people, you can see in that wide shot there, the people just dropping back. He has got everything dialed in tonight on that car.
Another bit of trivia that Rob had said, I'd say that him and Denny Hamlin are in the same category. Yes, Denny's won here 5 times.
Well, I don't know if anybody has guessed the answer to how many cars competed in the very first Southern 500, but the the answer, yeah, it'll probably surprise you. It surprised me. There's 2 answers actually: how many started and how many came to try to compete. 75 cars started that first Southern 500. Can you imagine this track with 75 cars on it?
That's crazy.
Over 80 cars came to try to make the race, but 75 actually started. That's just unreal. We have less than half that start. We'll be starting the race this Sunday.
All right. 87 laps complete. Austin Wheeler is your leader. He's got Jordan Wenzel on his tail. Matt Parasini finds himself back in 3rd, even though he drove through that incident. I guess he did pretty good. Tyler Levin 4th, and Jacob Musau is in 5th. Now, fuel economy. So Austin Wheeler came in lap 55. We assume that there's another 55 possibly in the tank. So that's going to take him to lap 110. That is 22 laps away.
Yeah, they'll be starting to think about it pretty soon. Matt Parasini has really worked his way back up again there. He pitted on lap 61, which put him behind several guys. I think he came out 6th, and he's back up to 3rd now. You can see those cars, first 3 cars, pretty evenly spaced. They're about a half second apart.
Jordan Wenzel, I think he disappeared. Jordan Wenzel had disconnected. I think that's fortunately, we've said this before at other times. This system is connected via the internet. You're a driver in your rig and in your home or wherever, but your connection to this race is through the internet, and we've all faced it. That internet gets disconnected, and unfortunately, Jordan Wenzel has disconnected.
Yep,
he's back. He's back.
Yeah.
How long was he gone? That was like the longest. That's got to be 20 seconds or
Wow.
so. But he kept his place. He is in second. Welcome back, Jordan Wenzel.
He said he could still see everybody. I just heard him on the radio talking. For those of you that don't iRace on a regular basis and may not know what happens there when you lose your internet connection, it all depends on how you lose it. Does it go away, or is it just partly gone away? And he was gone enough that we couldn't see him. The drivers couldn't see him, but he could still see the track. Was able to keep his position, and came back in the same spot that he left us in. So good for Matt Parasini.
All right, Jacob Musso is now up 8 positions. He is currently running in 4th. Oh, that's the 88, I thought. Could be wrong. Oh, it wasn't Richard Mills. Saw a car just drift across the track. Not sure exactly who that was, but they saved it because we're still green. We're going to see the 12 right there. That's Eric Jeffers trying to get under the 99 of Tyler Lev. That is for 5th place.
We have several drivers that have had to spend some time in the pits getting work done on their car. Joe Massa is now 13 laps down. Richard Mills 25 laps down. Billy Smith 30 laps down, and does not those guys don't appear to be running right at the moment.
I think Christopher Cash and Billy Smith have retired.
Okay.
Austin Walton is still in the game. He's trying to get that car repaired. We'll see if he can get that back out. Ron Fitting is in the pits. He's been there for over a minute. He's got some things happening there.
Yeah, he's 3 laps down, probably soon to be 4. Mike Wheels 2 laps down. And right now the battle for the lucky dog is between Dakota LaRue and Scott Thomas. And they're within a second of each other on the track. Dakota LaRue is in 15th. Scott Thomas is in 16th right now. So if we have another caution comes out, one of those two will likely get the lucky dog.
Here's the interesting fact. Eric Jeffers in the 12. Eric came in last on lap 74. He's currently running in 5th. So he's got about nearly a 20-lap advantage over our leaders.
Boy, and he's running in 5th spot, too. That's great job by that 12 machine there.
Yeah, he is 4 seconds behind the leader. So we expect, we're guessing, we expect that the leaders will be in somewhere around lap 110-ish. So that's just, 13 or so laps away.
And really, speeds haven't dropped off that much. Austin Wheeler's fast lap was a 29:07. His last lap was a 30.1. So he's only lost less than 2/10 of a second over his fast lap. And here we are. He's got 43 laps on his tires right now. A couple of those are caution laps, but
he's
doing a very good job at maintaining.
Yeah, we're trying to look around the track to see if we've got any battles shaping up. But since we've kind of gone to just single file racing here, not a lot going on. See Ty Bostic back here. He's lost 4 spots, but just ahead of him, Tony Japs, he's +8.
Yeah, Jacob Massa continuing to sneak forward. He's up +8 now as well, up in 4th position, and running lap times that are just as good, if not better, than the leader. The last lap, or 2 laps ago, he was a 10th slower than the leader, and that lap he was a 10th faster. So Jacob Massa doing a great job there in fourth.
Just looking on back, a little bit of racing happening back there. I think that's John DeRudris, the 99 of Tyra Lem, and Vince Burns there. That is all for position. That's all chasing 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Yeah, and 10th, John Ledger in the 19, not too far behind them as well.
Back the 96, right there. That's Mike Wheel getting around. That's Jeff Ramsdell, the 97 there. Looking back up to this battle, that's 4 cars right there. That's all 4 positions. But these guys, this whole group came in around, well, Tyler Lem came in the earliest. He came in at 55, which is the same as Austin Wheeler and Jordan Wenzel. Everybody else, well, I won't say everybody. Matt Pericini, Jacob Musso, they came in on lap 61 along with Corey Ennis. But from there, DeRudris came in on lap 61 as well. But Jeffers, Burns, Ledger, Bostic, Japs, those guys all came in on lap 74, so they've got to have, they're 20 laps to the good when it comes to fuel mileage.
Yep.
59 of DeRudris challenging the 99 of Tyra Lem, tries to get under. This goes back to maybe we talked about earlier, and that is that long run speed. If you saved your stuff, then here at the end of your run, you've got an opportunity to try and make a difference here, but the 99 is holding them off.
Yeah, and doing a great job of it. Still, he's last lap was 1 second off his best time, so still doing a great job at keeping up the pace, taking care of his tires. Somebody heading for the pits there, it looks like.
Yeah, that's Jeff Ramsdell in the 97. He is headed towards the pits. Also, Scott Thomas. But it's our excuse me, our estimation that we'll be getting to see a round of pit stops coming up soon for at least those drivers who last pitted on lap 55.
Yeah, Jeff Ramsdell's coming out of the pits now. Timing and scoring still shows him 1 lap down.
Jordan Wenzel in the pits, along with Corey Ennis.
Okay. Austin Wheeler stretching it as far as he can. He and Tyler Lem are the only cars that pitted on lap 55 that are still out there right now.
Yep.
They've got to come in, I would guess, in the next 3 laps. We'll see.
Our eyes are on the 48 of Austin Wheeler as he tries to figure out when is the right time to come in. Again, it's always a gamble. You want to be able, if it's all going to be green, then that's great. But if you come in and all of a sudden the caution flies, that could really jam you up.
Yeah, if the caution comes out now, the big loser is Dakota LaRue because Jordan Wenzel is ahead of him on the track and would get the lucky dog.
Yep.
As these other cars pit, if we stay green, he'll get that lap back right away.
Well, this is right that time for Austin Wheeler and for Tyra Lem. Then we'll have a little bit of a gap or so, 5 to 10 laps. We'll see with the drivers who pit on lap 61, and then do that one more time for those drivers who pit on lap 74. But there's only 74 laps left in this race to be contended. So if you can stretch it out, if you pit on lap 74, there's a good chance You may be able to make it on one more stop. So if you assume you pit on lap 50 at 74, if you can make it to 55, that's going to put you at 130, which leaves you just 54 laps to finish. So those guys, that may be the strategy, who pitted on lap 74. Those drivers who pitted on lap 55 or even 61, they're going to need one more stop.
Yep.
Let's jump on board with Austin Wheeler, see what, is he trying to stretch it out? Is he saving fuel?
His lap times have come down a little bit. His last lap was a 30.4.
Oh, and we say that just as
there he is.
he is coming down onto pit road here. That was at lap 55. We're at lap 112. So just, yeah.
Does a great job at keeping his speed up until he has to slow down at pit entrance, get down to that 45 mile an hour.
Jacob Musso all in at the same time as well. So he was able to go beyond that at 55 laps, probably due to those yellow flags that came out. That helped him to save a little bit of fuel.
Matt Pericini is in now. So that means John DeRugis has got to be coming in here in another lap or so. Yep.
Good stop by your leader, Austin Wheeler. Pericini and Burns both in the pits now. That puts Eric Jeffers out in front. Eric pitted last in lap 74. I don't anticipate him coming in until lap 130, 15 laps from now. Again, as you may have heard us say, oh, caution out.
Is out.
Tony Japs. Tony Japs, who is up in front, spins around, caution flies, and that changes everything, just like that. Oh, contact with Ledger.
Oh, boy.
Tony Japs is up high. You can see him. You watch those seams there. Ledger's drifting up. The 42 is coming down. Just racing incident, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Some minor contact, but enough to continue it and then send the 42 around. All right. Not what either of those two drivers expected or wanted, but with that, you've got the rest of the field coming in. Jeffers, DeRugis, Bostic, Walden, all those guys are coming in. See how this all plays out here when we can restack this field up. We'll give you some information as to who's coming out. But with that, we need to have
Eric Jeffers and John DeRugis came out first and second, it looks like. Great pit stops, 15 seconds.
All right, next question of the night. What is one of the closest finishes in NASCAR history that happened to occur at Darlington?
Ooh.
All right, Jeffers comes out and still retains the lead. putting DeRudris in second, Ledger in third, Japs stays in fourth. Good for Tony. Garrett Walden in fifth, Jordan Wenzel is in sixth. So the only driver that's kind of off this strategy is probably going to wind up being Matt Parasini. He pitted last on 104, and Corey Ennis 106. Is about a 10-lap, 12-lap delta between those drivers. So if they pit on laps 116, 55 gets you to lap 171. So they'll all still need one more lap, one more stop.
Yep. And then again, a caution could change everything.
Yep. Here we are.
Oop, they've delayed the restart.
Well, someone's good at Googling. Yep, but you are correct. And we'll go ahead and answer it since the correct answer has been put up. That was the 2003 Carolina Dodge Dealers 400, where Ricky Craven beat Kurt Busch by .0.
Oh, man. That was quite the finish, wasn't it?
Yep.
Wow.
Preferably by the nose.
Yeah. Yeah, when a caution comes out in the middle of green flag pit sequence, boy, it just throws everybody for a loop. Austin Wheeler, Jacob Massow, Corey Ennis, Jeff Ramsdell, Matt Parasini, Vince Burns, all lead lap cars that had pitted under green. Here we go.
Here we go. Back under green. Eric Jeffers leads the field. Gets a good job, good jump, but Tony Japs is right there.
Yeah, Jeffers got out to over a half a second lead on that restart. Another great job. There is such an advantage for that lead car. Everybody else has to wait till they see them move.
All right, last 60 or so laps of this race. Eric Jeffers out in front, got a little bit of a good gap between himself and Tony Japs. Nearly a full second between those drivers. 13 cars still remain on the lead lap here.
Something about that first lap after new tires. Eric Jeffers just turned the fastest lap of the race, 29.074. And right behind him, Tony Japs had his fastest lap, 29.22. And John DeRugeris had his fast at 29.21. Almost identical for those two guys.
Well, since we didn't get a new trivia question out at the last caution, we'll throw it out there now. What major NASCAR innovation was first introduced at Darlington in the early 2000s?
I got a guess on that one. I won't throw it out there yet, though.
Well, we'll see if our audience, which continues to grow, thank you all for tuning in tonight to the IWM broadcast of the iNRS Cookout Southern 250. See, we're throwing out trivia questions that you can take to work tomorrow, you know, if you're working on this eve of this Labor Day holiday.
Oh, here we go. Caution at 125.
Jeff Ramsdell, he is pointing the wrong direction in that Folgers car.
Gets it turned around. Trying to catch up with the field now. Seems to be moving okay. Ooh.
He was a little loose already. The 24 gets by. That's good for Matt Parasini. He stays out of that. It's like a single car incident with the 97.
Yeah.
All right, just to recap that question, what major NASCAR innovation was first introduced at Darlington in the early 2000s? No guesses, no takers at the moment. We do have drivers coming down.
Boy, I'll say, big run for the pits on this one. Guys think they can make it to the end from here.
It's quite possible. If you assume 55 laps would be left, that would put them right, since the lap 127 is complete by the time we go back to green, nearly 130. It's going to be close.
Yeah. Yeah, Jordan Wenzel, Jacob Massau, Corey Ennis all stayed out. They last pitted at lap 116, 112, and 106, respectively.
We'll see how their strategy plays out against those drivers who came in here on lap 126.
And they may think that, hey, we can't make it from here.
Yep. Every time I overanalyze whether that was a right move or the wrong move, I'm usually wrong.
Yep. I feel your pain. I do the same thing. Everybody from fourth on back looks like they pitted there. John DeRuzeris in fourth. They all pitted on lap 126, and a few of them are still in the pits.
Yeah, they're making their way out now. Walden, Burns, Lem, and Bostic are coming out. They had some extended time in the pits. Although Eric Jeffers, I show he has a black flag. He may have been caught speeding, and that is going to unfortunately put him in the pits when the green flag flies, which means he will go down potentially 2 spots.
That is going to hurt.
Laps, not 2 spots,
2
down
laps,
2 laps, yeah.
Yeah, Eric Jeffers led there for a little bit. He had the makings of a good night, and if that was a speeding penalty, that's a shame for him. Hate to see that.
All right, the lights are off on our pace car. Next time by, that green flag will fly.
Again,
Jordan Wenzel
finds himself. Has he not come in yet?
He can't come in until the.
Till the green flag. That's right.
That's right.
And he's at the back. He was at the back of the field to start, so mid-pack, I guess.
Yeah. All right, cars are out there with fresh rubber and full set of fuel. Make our way around. Green flag flies, and with that green flag, let's give you the answer to that trivia question. Rob, you said that you weren't sure if it was safer barriers. Other folks were staying in stage racing, restrictor plates, double file restarts, but nope. The answer is safer barriers. First time, early 2000s.
I was way off then. I was going to guess the roof flap, the escape hatch.
Oh, there you go.
Safer barriers probably have saved more injuries and in fact, more lives. That was one of the things that was a kind of a direct result of losing Dale Earnhardt in the Daytona 500 in '01. That they went to the softer walls, which it's hard to call a steel wall soft, but it is much softer when you hit it at 200 miles an hour.
Right. It's that cushion that's in the sandwich there that makes it a little bit more giving.
Yep.
All right, so with that, we'll throw another one out there. You can noodle on to our next caution flies. Who won the 1985 Southern 500 to claim the first Winston Million bonus?
Ooh, I got that one.
Us
I'll
old
keep my mouth
timers.
shut, though. That's right. I was watching that race.
See, my kids weren't born at that last week. Did they have TV back then? Sure did hear that. Was that on radio?
Yeah, I was at work today, and I was talking to a girl that had just started there about a year ago, and she said, how long ago did you start? And I asked her how old she was, and she was born the same time I started working there. So
Jordan Wenzel is out in front here at Darlington in the Cookout Southern 250 here in the iNRS Racing Series. Just 50 laps to go.
Jordan Wenzel is also our playoff points leader. He is seeded number 1 in the playoffs, and if he finishes the race where he is right now, then all he's going to do is extend that lead.
Yep, he punches his ticket for sure into the next round. 25 of Jacob Musso, as well as see other drivers here. That's Corey Ennis that's just behind him, making a little bit more contact than they would like to with that safer barrier. And how, if you're not familiar with iRacing, and I'm sure this is similar because they do make this simulation very accurate. When that car brushes up against that safer barrier, it's like glue. You're stuck there. And you have to pull yourself off that barrier.
And that the whole time you're on that wall, in contact with the wall, it is slowing you down quickly. So you lose a ton of momentum. It's amazing, though, these cars are durable enough that they can take that wall contact without really damaging the car, as long as it's kind of a glancing blow.
Yeah,
there's a point of no return, though, where you break that toe link, and then you're in the pits for repairs.
Well, in the first season, when this generation of cars came out, we quickly discovered that weak link.
Yep. Yeah, fortunately, NASCAR went back to the drawing board, and they were able to figure out a way to strengthen that toe link so that it would survive minimal contact, but it would give way in major contact, and another safety feature of protecting the driver.
So we did get word from admin exactly what happened, unfortunately, to Eric Jeffers. Looks like he got caught passing the pace car before entering the pits because he sped up when he dropped off the track to get ready to go in the pits. Simple mistake, but iRacing and NASCAR will catch you every time for that. And unfortunately, that has cost him. He is now, just looking back at the leaderboard, Jeffers is 2 laps down.
Yep. Yeah, and I've made that mistake. It's so easy to do because all of a sudden there's nobody in front of you, and you're wanting to get to the pits quickly. You're trying to get back out in a good spot, and just an easy mistake to make. Unfortunately for Eric Jeffers, it's also very costly.
Absolutely. All right, we won't keep you waiting. Who won the 1985 Southern 500 to claim that first Winston Million bonus? Rob Burrell, you had it correct. It was Bill Elliott.
Wild Bill from Dawsonville. We love it. That was a game changer in sports too. To have a $1 million payday like that. That was back in 1985. $1 million was a lot of money.
Still a lot of money today.
I
But
was going
even
to say,
then,
if you're
yeah.
me, it's still a lot of money, but that was more than they made in a season back then.
40 years ago.
Wow.
That's a big number.
I think Bill Elliott also has the fastest qualifying lap in NASCAR history too, doesn't he?
Maybe so.
2:12 at Daytona before they put the restrictor plates on.
The Talladega number in there too.
Well, these guys at the lead have spaced themselves out. They're good, a little over a half second between first and second. There's a half-second gap. Second and third, it's over a second. Fourth and fifth, another over half second. So they're just distancing themselves from everyone else. Top three spots are anyway.
Let's bring up that current standings right now. As you can see, you got Jordan Wenzel. He's up in front. That's great. Jacob Musso now is sitting in second. Jacob Musso is currently sitting in fourth. That's going to help him. Austin Wheeler up there in third. That's going to continue to help him. Corey Ennis, he's in sixth in the points. That's positive him. DeRudris in seventh. Matt Pericini is in sixth. He is right on the cut line. He needs a good finish tonight. A good finish tonight for sixth would be certainly helpful to that 24 car. 42 of Tony Japs. He is below the cut line. A finish up here in eighth. That's super positive for him. Tyler Lem, probably a little bit disappointing unless he can improve his position. He's in ninth, but he's sitting in third. So Ty Bostic is in fifth in points. He's currently in 11th. Vince Burns, he wants to have a good night. He is in 12th, and he is right at that cut line. So you can see all these drivers who are there. John Ledger is in 10th. He is below the cut line. He's looking for a good night. Joe Mosso is back in 19th. He needs to find a way in the next 40 laps or so to improve that position.
Yeah, some of those guys in the red that you see there, they're not wishing ill will on Eric Jeffers, but they stand to benefit a little bit at least from Eric Jeffers being 2 laps down right now as a result of that penalty.
Yeah, that's going to make it all the more critical to try and find a way to get that back. And but he's got Mike Wheel and Dakota LaRue who are in the lucky dog position. Those are both 1 lap down, so Mike Wheel is the next recipient of that lucky dog if that flies. We'll see how we go and how the rest of the finishes, but we've got less than 40 laps. We're about 35 laps left in this event. That being said, a number of drivers think they can make it. I don't know if Jordan Wenzel can. He pitted last on 116.
Yeah, Austin Wheeler's the first guy, and he's in third place. He's the first guy that pitted on lap 126. So he could come out and find himself in the lead again.
Yeah, I think Jordan Wenzel, if this stays green, is going to find himself potentially 10 laps shy.
Yeah, I think you're probably right on that. He's praying for a caution right now. these races where the cars get stretched out and run up there, just as I was going to say it, we
Caution's
get a
out.
caution at 151.
Garrett Walden. And Mike Wheel has a meatball flag. He's got some serious damage on that car. You can see that left front is not turning, and it's kind of pointing in the wrong direction. So that 96 has got some issues there with suspension. I'm sure we go back and look at this replay, we'll see what happened to.
What a bad break for Mike Wheel. He was in line for the lucky dog.
Yep, looks like the 43 was headed to the wall. It slowed down, and unfortunately, the 96. Oh, Dakota LaRue involved as well.
He was the other one that was a lap down.
Yeah, looking for the
This
lucky
could
dog.
be a game changer for Eric Jeffers. He should get a lap back on this.
Yeah, we'll see how it all plays out.
Everybody at the front of the field, top 12 spots, all going in to pit. I'm sure Garrett Walden goes in, Mike Wheel goes in, Dakota LaRue.
That resolves the whole can Jordan Wenzel make it?
Yep. And once again, a caution changes everything.
Story of our lives.
Now it's a 30 lap shootout now. They can still have decent tires at 30 laps. Fuel is not an issue. Everybody can make it even through green, white checkers. So it's going to be a little bit of a sprint to the finish here. Long sprint, but still a sprint.
Yep, probably less than 30 laps when we go back to green flag.
Well, Jordan Wenzel will get the benefit of being the control car, so he'll get the jump at the green flag. Austin Wheeler, though, has been great on restarts all night long, so this will be interesting to see how these two handle this coming restart. Got Jordan Wenzel, Austin Wheeler, Jacob Mossau, Corey Ennis, Matt Parasini make up your top 5 right now.
So a couple drivers getting the wave around. That was Scott Thomas, and I think also Ron Fitting get the wave around. So field is forming back up. Eric Jeffers now finds himself. He stayed out to try and make up his lap. He pinned last on lap 129. He has, I think, just enough fuel to make it around, which, although I believe he is still 1 lap down.
That's what I show. Dakota LaRue 1 lap down, Eric Jeffers 1 lap down.
Yep, and right now Dakota LaRue is in the lucky dog position.
Okay. So sometimes cautions breed cautions. If that happens, that'll be a good move for Dakota LaRue. Good jump there by Jordan Wenzel, although the car of Austin Wheeler and Corey Ennis both sticking up there with him, especially Austin Wheeler did a great job on that restart.
All right, we'll give you one more to think about. This may be relatively easy. Who was the youngest driver ever to win a Cup Series race at Darlington?
Well, I've got my answer. I don't know if it's right, but I've got it.
All right, looking up front, Jordan Wenzel hasn't been able to exactly run away.
Caution is out.
Oh, ninth caution is out.
Yep.
Richard Mills, possibly. Let's go and see what happened to Richard Mills here. He has got a meatball flag. There is some serious right side front end damage on that 88 Toyota.
Yeah, a little bit of smoke coming out of that car too. Let's see what happens here.
Contact
12
with
just
12.
comes up. Yep.
Oh.
Ooh, turned him right into the wall. Yeah, I have a feeling his evening is done.
Yep, that car is toast. That 88 is in trouble. There were drivers in the pits: Garrett Walden, Scott Thomas, Ron Fitting, Mike Wheel, all in the pits. Richard Mills as well, trying to get repairs made. That puts Dakota LaRue back on the lead lap and puts Eric Jeffers in lucky dog position next time by.
Jordan Wenzel is no stranger to being at the front. He, I think, led the league in wins this year. I think he had 5. I think somebody else may have had 5 as well. But we've talked about him a lot this season. Always finding his way to the front. Even when he doesn't win a race, he's up there battling for it. So great job this season by your points leader, Jordan Wenzel, in the 81 car.
Yeah, Austin Wheeler. Yeah, both had 5 wins.
Yeah, that 48. Those guys were just talking on the radio, and Jordan Wenzel was telling Austin that it was okay with him if he just held his position for the rest of the race. These guys are very, very competitive, but they're also online friends as well, and you'll see tempers get short sometimes, but these guys do a good job of knowing it's the passion and the tension that comes from racing that sometimes gets us a little hot under the collar, but they do a great job at putting that behind them and getting on with things and not letting it carry over. Jordan Wenzel on that last lap, or right after that last restart, I mean, he now has taken over fastest lap of the race with a 23:04. Pretty fast.
All right, we're coming to the line. Pace car has dropped off. Wenzel, Wheeler on that front row.
Ooh, oh.
What a restart.
What happened there? Austin Wheeler got the jump that time.
Oh, 81
wow.
Tagged the wall. Big jump there puts Austin Wheeler back out in front. So he fights off the 81 of Jordan Wenzel. Great anticipation on that restart. But right behind them, lots of drama going on as these cars are trying to get their best position to be successful with just 24 laps to go. So if you're wondering who was the youngest driver,
lot up. Will the caution come out, or nope? Looks like, oh yeah, it's out. Yeah.
42, 22, 18, all involved in that 10th caution. That does put Eric Jeffers back on the lead lap from the lucky dog. As I was saying, the driver who was the youngest driver to win, you would probably think it is Jeff Gordon.
Ha ha! Finally got one right. Well, that's the second one I got right.
Yeah.
I'm not as dumb as my wife tells me I am. Oh dear, that shakes it up a little bit again. Now that gives Austin Wheeler, who has been great on restarts tonight, that gives him the control car position and puts him in a great spot with 23 laps to go right now, probably about 26 maybe when we take the green flag.
Eric
Now
Jeffers,
we're getting,
Japs, Bostic, LaRue, and Walden all on pit road.
yep. And that gave Scott Thomas the lucky dog. I thought Eric Jeffers was in line, but
Yeah, well, that may be because Jeffers went in. We'll see how it all restacks.
yeah. Just heard Scott Thomas say he was coming around on the outside, so he thinks he has a lucky dog. He probably does.
Yeah, yeah. I don't see it yet in the telemetry. But what I do know is there will be about 20 laps left in this race here at Darlington. Austin Wheeler, Jordan Wenzel, both are 5-win winners at the end of the regular season, will be on the front row battling out for the win.
That's a fitting ending to a race for this first race in the playoffs, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Have the two top winners battling for the win. First race of the playoffs. That's a good show by the iNRS League.
All right. My telemetry shows Tony Japs on the lead lap in 14th. Scott Thomas still showing a lap down. But let's let
and they are, yeah, that's interesting. They are, and the cars are all double file, so they're going to restart this next when they get to the checkers here, or the green flag here.
I will say I am running out of trivia questions, but I think let's see what we got here.
Austin Wheeler is taking the outside on this restart, like we've seen most restarts tonight, if not all. I've got another trivia question if you need.
Oh, I got one. All right. Which driver broke a Darlington winless streak of nearly 7 years when he won the 2023 Southern 500?
Ooh.
And with that restart, 2023, 7-year streak, Austin Wheeler takes over the lead here. On this restart, Jordan Wenzel in second, Jacob Musso, good showing tonight. Jacob Musso in third, Corey Ennis in fourth. Matt Parasini finds himself in fifth.
Well, I lucked out when I said keep your eye on Jacob Moss out tonight. I thought it was going to be because how the first stage went, but he has just done a great job at racing his way.
Couple cars, big hits into the safer barrier. I don't know how they are continuing. There was a huge slam. I don't know who exactly was involved, but yeah, I'm surprised that 42 of Tony Japs is still running. I think he hit the wall pretty hard.
Well, Jordan Wenzel, even though he's in second position, has doubled down on fastest lap, and he broke the 29-second barrier with a 28.94. And Austin Wheeler right in front of him had a 28.96. So 2 1,000ths of a second difference on that last lap.
Wow. Couple guesses from Christopher Tate and Rob Burrell. Both say it was Eric Jones. But that's not the right answer.
Oh, that was a good guess, though. Austin Wheeler is stretching that lead out. He's got a half second over Jordan Wenzel right now. And then they're all running pretty close to each other after that.
Matt Pericini there, he was a little loose. Pretty much everybody went in around lap 152, so everybody's on fresh tires and fuel. Ty Boston trying to make his way up and around. Going to get under
the 97.
Great paint scheme
on that car.
Absolutely. Good close racing there with the 97 of Jeff Ramsdell.
Yeah, these cars are getting up there now with just about 20 laps on their tires, so those things are going to start getting a little slippery and moving around a lot. We see, just saw Austin Wheeler get a little loose on that last set of turns.
So the answer to that question, which driver broke a Darlington winless streak of nearly 7 years when he won the 2023 Southern 500? That is none other than the myth, the legend, the number 5, Kyle Larson.
What an incredible driver, huh?
He can drive pretty much everything.
Yep. I'm waiting to see him drive his hauler to the track one of these days. Austin Wheeler stretching out that lead. He's got almost a second over second place right now. And Jordan Wenzel dropped back. He's dropped to third. Jacob Mossau making a run.
Yeah, Jacob Mossau finds himself now in second place. He gets around Jordan Wenzel. Jacob Mossau has picked up 10 spots from where he qualified and is currently showing in second.
He is doing everything right tonight. Just started out, what would that be, 12th position, and just has slowly and steadily inched his way forward, now finds himself in second. Only about 3/4 of a second behind Austin Wheeler, and he's gaining on him because about 3 or 4 laps ago it was almost a full second, so he's gained almost 2/10 on the last 3 or 4 laps.
All right, we are just 10 laps to go, 9 laps to go right now as the drivers, Austin Wheeler crosses our start and finish line.
Yeah, that lap found Jacob Mossau almost matching Austin Wheeler's speed. Only
8/100s.
Yeah, 8/100s. But is it too little, too late? 8 laps to go. He's got to make up over a 10th per lap. That's going to be a tough battle the way Austin Wheeler's running.
Absolutely. To bring up that gap information, see if we see anything. Yeah, 8/10 as you stated. That's a lot to ask with just 7 laps to go.
Yep.
But that being said, look at the Austin Wheeler is in second in points behind Jordan Wenzel, Tyrell Lem, Jacob Mossau. Jacob is currently in fourth. A success like this, even finishing second here, that's great points as they get the first race under their belt in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting to see. I don't I don't know that this will be enough to launch Austin Wheeler ahead of Jordan Wenzel, but it will put him guaranteed spot into the next round.
And 14 points separate them. But that gap will narrow. But again, it will be a win for Austin Wheeler, and he punches his ticket.
5 laps to go before when we hit the stripe here next. Boy, that if you look at that scoreboard on the left side of the screen there, a lot of playoff drivers up front, isn't there?
Yes, they are.
Top 11 spots are playoff drivers, and the rest aren't far behind.
Jeff Ramsdell is the only interloper there. He finds himself in 12th. He's sandwiched in between Vince Burns and Dakota LaRue. We're going to see some shakeups, I think, after tonight's event in this playoff.
Yeah. We talked about John Ledger earlier being below the cut line. I don't know if this will put him above or not, but he certainly is helping his case. He's up to 7th now.
Yep, Vince Burns is behind him. Tony Japs is behind him. Joe Musow. Where's Joe? Sitting currently in 18th. So yeah, it certainly can't hurt him.
Yep. Matt Parasini worked his way back up in front of him now. He's in 5th. So that will hurt John as far as the cut line variation goes, but he'll help himself as far as points, I think.
I think Lucas Whitehead was not able to make tonight's event, so unfortunately he will be the worst affected. But the white flag flies here at Darlington for Austin Wheeler. He takes that 1 lap to go to punch his ticket into the second round of the playoffs.
And Jacob Mossau is making an attempt. He is gaining on Austin Wheeler right now. He's got that gap down to a half a second, but we've only got a half a lap to less than half a lap. Here's the flag now.
All right, Austin Wheeler is your winner. Jacob Musso second. Jordan Wenzel is in third. So there's your podium. We'll have driver interviews momentarily.
Those first 3 guys, no strangers to running up front. They're all up in the upper end of the playoff bracket. So great race tonight for these 3.
Absolutely.
Guys getting ready to get their picture here.
All right, while they're playing nice for the photographer, I think we've got results. Let's go ahead and grab the results of tonight's event.
And there you see them right there. As Rick said, Austin Wheeler is your winner tonight of the Cookout Southern 250, followed by Jacob Mossau, Jordan Wenzel, Corey Ennis in 4th, Matt Parasini 5th. John DeRugeris is in 6th, John Ledger in 7th, Tyler Lemon 8th, Garrett Walden in 9th, Ty Bostic in 10th, Vince Burns in 11th, and Jeff Ramsdale in 12th position.
Dakota LaRue finishes in 13th with Tony Japs in 14th, Eric Jefferson 15th, Scott Thomas in 16th with Ron Fitting in 17th. In 18th, you've got Joe Musow. Mike Wheel finishes in 19th, Richard Mills in 20th, Billy Smith in 21st, Christopher Cash in 22nd, and unfortunately Austin Walton in 23rd. All right. Well, stay
Those guys
tuned.
are finishing up their burnouts there. That 48 lighting up the tires. You can't
Absolutely.
see it because of the graphic, but he's doing a great job on his burnout behind that. Trust me.
All right. With that, we bring Mr. Jordan Wenzel into the broadcast booth. Jordan, congratulations on your finish, man. You had a great night.
Yeah, I just got screwed over by rules tonight, so
Explain
that's
that to our people that are watching at home.
well, second or third place started the restart there, and these cars are so aero dependent now. Once you get up front, it's just dirty or essential. You can't pass. So when I got hit there on that restart, let the inside line go because it looks like I started, and that's just how it works, I guess.
Well,
Because he's able to
Yeah.
clear me into one.
We wondered what happened when we were watching that restart. But we saw you kind of backing up there a little bit, and it was that's a tough break, man. Sorry for that.
Yeah, it was the cars behind going faster than me because I was maintaining pace car speed, and it is what it is. We'll move on to the next week and pray to God that we can figure something out.
well, you're in a
Well,
relatively good shape at this stage here in the first race, but you're right. But you've got some good opportunities ahead of you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Roval on the round of 12. Get that. I'd probably be good there. Yeah, I think this. I'm looking at Wheeler and looking at he's going to be the guy I'm going to be chasing through the entire playoffs. I mean, we got a bunch of other guys that are good, but I feel like if I'm going to be, he's going to be the main target,
Yeah.
for trying to win this.
Well, you guys have traded wins all season, so you know it's this is what we expected for sure.
Yeah, hopefully I can get him back next week.
All right. Well, again, congratulations on your finish. Any shout outs tonight?
Shout out to you guys for putting this on, for the guys who run the league. Uh, this is all the guys that we race with. They're not. I know they're meaning well. They're just all competitive like we are. But I'm just hot right now. It's
Well, Eric,
we totally get it.
yeah, you can't be as successful as you have been all season without those competitive juices flowing, and we get it. So,
hmm.
all right, there's your third place finisher tonight. That's Jordan Wenzel. Let's go ahead and bring Jacob Musso into the broadcast booth. Jacob, congratulations on that second place finish, man. You had a great night.
Thank you.
Jeff,
We had
Jeff made it a
we had
point.
called it. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, we
you
had
called it.
talked about you early in the race during the first stage, Jacob, and said you were the one to watch because you were in a great spot because of your pit stop on, I think it was lap 9, that you were going to be able to make it on fuel if there were no cautions, if we stayed green that whole run. And fortunately for everybody else, that didn't happen. But you ended up you just slowly, steadily got better as the night went along.
Yeah, I mean, on lap 9, I got spun on the restart going into turn 1. Just got ran over, and then I got pretty significant right front damage. So that's why I pitted. And I was just steadily fixing that on the stops, so I would lose a bunch of dots on the cautions. So once I finally got it within a few, like 30 seconds of being completely fixed, the car actually was pretty decent. So I knew I could save tire better than most people. So I just focused on that and just kept smooth and just picked them off as much as I could.
Well, that was one of the keys that we had identified early on was that long run speed and be able to save your stuff as the run went on. And clearly, you did a fabulous job of that tonight.
Thank you, appreciate it.
You got it. Jacob, any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, I would like to apologize to Jordan Wenzel there. I tried to time the start and I bumped him and spun his tires, and so that kind of screwed him over on that one restart. So I feel terrible about that, but I want to shout out all the boys at SFM. It's a lot of fun racing with them, and they're always in my corner. Love when they do good. We got 2 cars in the top 5 tonight, so that's great. And then just our buddies Jordan, Garrett, all the guys that come in and chat with us, and you guys for the great broadcast, and iNRS for the great league.
You got it. All right, well, Jacob, we'll see you next week in St. Louis, and good luck, and hope to talk to you again.
Thank you.
Got it. Well, and with that, we'll chance to speak to Mr. Austin Wheeler, who notches his win tonight here at Darlington and punches his ticket clearly into the next round. Jordan, Austin, congratulations.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome, man. You know, you led a lot of laps tonight. You really were very consistent. Have to say, pretty impressed.
Thank you, man. Darlington is not one of my best tracks.
Well, you couldn't. It didn't appear to be that way tonight. So.
Well, I say that most of my Darlington races I've ever done has been during the day when the track temp's 120 degrees. So it might have played in my favor some with it being cooler and, kind of taken into my not so good tire saving. It helped that out a lot with the track being cooler here at the end.
Well, that's always a challenge here. We, trying to keep that a little bit of your stuff in those longer runs. That's always a challenge at this track with its abrasive surface. But it all paid off. Here you are in the winner's circle. You had a great season so far, and here we are now showing it in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to advance to the next round, but it's all about playoff points now. I'm trying to get, try to stack as many as we can to have the best chance if we get to round 8. That way, worst case, if we don't win anything in that round, we can at least point our way in and have a shot at it Phoenix.
Absolutely.
Austin, one of the things that we noticed tonight, your car was fast, obviously, but you really had that thing hooked up on restarts. What was it? Was it timing? Was it good grip? Or what enabled? You just went out like a rocket. Most restarts, you were getting 4 and 5 car length lead right out of the chute.
Yeah, it was a little bit of both. You could start in first gear and get a jump if you wanted to, but you kind of took a risk of spinning the tires. So I always started in second, and you could just mash it and go. But you always play the restart game. I'm never looking at the windshield coming to the box. You know what I mean? You're watching the guys behind you and trying to go off of their bad timing to get a good jump.
Well, boy, it worked for you tonight. Good job.
Thank you, man. I enjoyed it. I usually don't enjoy Darlington that much, but I think I still got in the fence probably 10 times. I got plenty of stripes, but not a lot of damage. Really good.
Well, congratulations. Any shout-outs tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all my sponsors on the car tonight. Smoky Mountain Motorsports, the league. I'm happy to make it to the playoffs here, and Josh and Scott done a good job keeping everybody in this thing all season long. Thank my wife for supporting me, and I'm just glad to get another win tonight.
You got it. Well, there's your winner, folks. Austin Wheeler chalks up a win here in the first round of the playoffs here at Darlington. We wish him all the luck and hope to speak to you next week. Well, Jeff, Darlington's a tough track, so we got some great racing tonight.
Yeah, Darlington seems to earn its name every race. The track too tough to tame, and it certainly was tonight. You saw a lot of contact, guys hitting that outside safer barrier coming off of 2 and 4, and mixing it up. It was interesting race to me, Rick, because there was a lot of just get in line and run around the track. But then when it really counted, there was a lot of really good racing at the same time.
Absolutely. Well, folks, that pretty much wraps up our broadcast tonight from Darlington, where Austin Wheeler was able to make the win tonight and punch his ticket. Next week, we will be at the Worldwide Center of Racing in St. Louis. And on Wednesday night, with the Tech for Troops Cup Series, we will actually be at Chicagoland for their second round of the playoffs. So a little bit different, couple different races, 1.5 mile versus mile track for the iNRS Racing Series. So for Jeff and myself, we wish you a great night and have a happy Labor Day. We'll see you soon. All right. Good night, folks.